We're all entrepreneurs here. We have our own business, right? Cash is the lifeblood of any entrepreneur's business. We don't have cash, you're not in business. We're gonna start with our first lead source. And this is the one I think agents are the most familiar with, which is expireds. Are expireds high-hanging fruit or low-hanging fruit? Low, exactly. You know they wanna sell it. They've had it on the market. They're somewhat motivated. Now, specific questions that we're gonna ask them, we're gonna figure out whether their motivation is here or their motivation is here. Because I don't wanna work with somebody who says, I just wanna list my property, see what I can get for it. If it sells, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. Those are not my primary client. Here's the first thing we're gonna go over is how do you find expireds? So there's dialers, which I'm referring to. So guys, there's 3 major ones that I know. RedX, Mojo, and Vulcan. I use RedX. I know people that use Vulcan that like Vulcan because they think the numbers are more accurate. Vulcan's only a single line dialer. I like the triple line. Okay, so and I can dump everything into Vulcan or into RedX. Yeah. The other way you can do it is you can pull them off the MLS if you don't want to spend the money on a dialer. You can pull it off the MLS and load it into your own Excel spreadsheet, and you can either go to 411 to get phone numbers, or you can use Forewarn and get phone numbers. Forewarn's another site you can use. You pay for it, and it gives you the cell phones. What do expireds want because they did not get these 2 things before? They want hope, and they want certainty that you can do it, that you guys can actually sell the property because their previous agent was not able to. Picture yourself as an expired. Your property was just on the market for 6 months. You had expectations of moving to Florida because you want to retire. For 6 months, the property didn't sell. So now your moving plans are completely out the window. Your house goes off the market on a Monday. Your phone is ringing off the hook on a Tuesday. What is your mood going to be? Annoyed? Depleted? Exactly. This is why knowing what to say is so important when you call them. Because most agents are going to call them and tell them what? What are they going to tell them?
Let me list your home.
Yes, say it again.
Let me list your home.
Let me list your home.
I'll get
What
it.
else?
I'll get you the best.
Yeah, I can, so you're getting the words. I can list your home. I can sell it.
Liar.
I can get you the best. Guys, it's the same rancid stuff that these sellers hear all day long. We're not going to come from that place. It's not what we do. We're going to come, that's like being very desperate to get a listing. We come from a place of contribution here. So you can pull out your expired script, and the first question I ask when when I'm calling, it's like ring, ring, they say hello. Hi, my name is Daniel. I was calling about the home that was for sale on Banana Street. Is this the owner? And they're going to say, with almost 100% certainty, they're going to say, yeah, are you an agent? How many times do you guys call it? Who calls expireds here? 1, 2.
Not enough.
Okay. What's your response when they say that?
I say I am.
Okay. You say I am. Are they still angry?
Of course.
Okay.
But then I try to divert it and ask, I saw that your home is on the market for 180 days. Were you happy with the results of your agent, or what was the purpose of you putting the home on the market in the first place?
That's the question of the day. That's it.
Find your motivation.
That's it. All right. I love it. Anna Kay, thank you. And Jenna. The questions that we're going to ask are going to be about them. Not about, I can list your home and I can sell it and I. Again, guys, it's rancid shit that these people hear from a realtor every day. I noticed the property was on the market for 6 months. Just wanted to ask, you can either say, is selling still important to you? Or was there a particular reason you even had the home on the market in the first place? Well, yeah, we're trying to move to Florida. Wow. Now, my 4 words right after that are, it's like clockwork. Tell me about that. So you guys want to, if listen, write that down. Tell me about that. What's important about getting you to Florida? How's your life going to change if you're actually able to make the move to Florida? These are all questions about who?
The client.
Them, exactly. It's all about them. It's not about us, guys. It's not. And the more you implement these we's and you's instead of I's, I'm telling you, your business is going to increase because it ain't about us. Do we think that's the motivation? I'm moving to Florida. No. Keep digging. That's the tell me about that. Well, my in-laws are there and we want to be closer to my in-laws. Wow, interesting. Did we get there? Did we get the motivation yet? No. That's interesting. Tell me about that. What's important about being near your in-laws? Well, they're aging and, we're noticing they need more care and we have to actually get that. That's the motivation. Their in-laws are aging and they need to be closer to them because, they're flying back and forth. They're noticing that there's a lot of travel. They got to be near them and they're going to be moving. That's the motivation. So it's levels deeper. It's not usually what's in front of you. But it takes courage to ask these questions because believe me, they want to get you guys off the phone like that because you're another agent. But if you start probing and asking in the right manner, making it about them and not, I haven't said anything about me yet, whether I can sell it or not. I'm still trying to figure out, are we going to be in alignment on our goals and expectations if I could even meet them? Then once you get that, wow, okay. And, I'm looking here as far as time frame, where you thinking, how soon you thinking you want to make that move happen? I don't know, yesterday, 6 months ago when I listed it? Okay, so it sounds like if you had an offer that was reasonable to you, like in 30 days, you'd probably sell the property, is that right? Yes. Okay, now you start to ask the other, some more questions about the property itself. I'm looking at the property, a beautiful home. I mean, you're on New York Ave, it's a great street, great block. Share with me, what do you think stopped the home from selling? I'm confused. They're going to tell you every single thing they couldn't stand about their previous agent, which is fine. Write it all down because we're going to loop it back. Okay? And then you can go into what did you like about what your agent did? How did you happen to pick them is a question that I like to ask. Did you know them? Because sometimes they're family members, so you don't want to talk. I don't talk bad about another agent because I don't know who they are. I'll find that out, and then I'll do two quick summaries. So what you've been kind enough to share with me, I'm hearing two things very clearly. Number one, you definitely would sell the property if you got that offer that was reasonable and acceptable to you. And number two, really through no fault of your own, it just sounds like you weren't getting the service you expected to receive when you listed with that agent. Is that right? Ask it, don't tell it. And then they'll say, yes, that's right. Okay, may I make a suggestion? And that's your opening to close. May I make a suggestion? Yeah, what's that? Love to simply pop by, see what the home has to offer in person. While I'm there, we'll discuss two things very clearly. Number one is what we need to change this time around so we can get those motivated buyers walking in here, seeing this beautiful home, making bona fide qualified offers on this property. And then number two is your net bottom line. What you can realistically expect to receive, Mr. Seller, when we're at the closing table signing papers. Now we're already at the closing table in their head. Okay? Then, Mr. Seller, whether it's now or later, at least you've met with the top agent in your area. You can make the best decision you can for yourself and your family. Does that sound fair to you? It's like 6, 7 U's. I haven't said I once. What's the natural answer to that question? Yes. Does that sound fair to you? Yeah. Or, well, I got to talk to my wife. Or I'm not ready to do anything yet. Totally understand, Mr. Seller. And we can go into these are just questions. They're not objections. They're just questions. Let's do the spouse. So the spouse would just be, well, hey, totally understand. What's your spouse's name, if you don't mind me asking? Lauren. So is Lauren, was she on, you sound very excited about making the move. Is she as excited or on board as you are? Well, yeah, it's her parents. So yeah, she definitely is. Okay. Do you think she'd be opposed if you set a tentative appointment with the top agent in your area just to make sure you're not leaving any money on the table? And usually it's like, well, I don't know, or you know what, okay. Hey, I'll write it in pencil. We got a big eraser here. And what we'll do is I'll reach out to you later tonight to make sure you've had some time to talk to Lauren and to confirm our time that we'll meet. Does that sound fair to you? Yeah, it sounds fair. Now, always offer two options when you go for the close. Mr. Seller, under optimal conditions, are evenings or afternoons better for you? And offer a time where you can do it. Don't offer evenings if you have children and you're home with your kids in the evenings and they want to make appointments in the evening. Don't offer that time. Offer when you can do it. Now, here's what we don't say. I'm looking at my calendar. I have blank and blank. I wouldn't do that. Would Saturday at 5 or Friday at 6 work better for you? Friday at 6. Guys, I've not said I yet. That word has not come out of my mouth. This is all about them. It's a whole different way of introducing yourself to someone who just had their life turned upside down by not being able to sell a property. You're going to be the agent that comes from a place of contribution, not the agent that comes from a place of desperation. I got to get a listing. I got to get a listing. So this is what I got. What do I got to do to get it? That's not us. And they'll know that. A seller knows within 2 seconds whether you're full of shit or you know what you're talking about. They know.
They know.
And then, so how do we follow up with them? So there's people in here that call expired. How do you guys, what's your follow-up schedule?
But if it's like a hot lead, because I'm using Mojo right now, so I have like groups just go on those like daily, and then just run through all like the hot leads to see who I should contact.
And how often do you call on them?
Like a week, with like every week.
Every week? Okay. I would say do it quick. I would say shorten the time.
Yeah.
So here's a golden rule, guys. If a seller says to me, call me next week, I'll know what I'm doing. So if they say call me next week, what do? I cut it in half. Because what you don't want is you wait that month, and in that 2 to 3 week time frame, they've changed their mind, something changed, and now they're getting ready to list, and they've already interviewed agents, and they've signed paperwork, and you lost out. And offer a value proposition to them. Would you be interested? I mean, I can run numbers and give you an accurate assessment of what your home's worth now, since it didn't sell. Because what we know to be true is the price that we had, the market didn't respond favorably to that. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So that's I like that. So you can offer to maybe do a CMA or give them an accurate assessment of value when you call them back to follow up. So that's a good value proposition. Why do I do workshops to help agents? I've been in the industry since 1999. I was on the lending side, jumped over to the real estate side in 2009. We were in the middle of the mortgage collapse. Expireds were crazy, but I didn't know how to get my own leads, get my own deals.